Well, we will continue this afternoon with the hidden gem sessions. And to be honest, when I walked into the Pakhuis de Zwijger this afternoon, I was completely unaware what hidden gems were. But well, I'm updated. What are we going to do? We have 4 people for the next hour. Those 4 people are grouped in 3 presentations, and it means that they are going to talk about their work, what they did. Well, let them explain, because I think it's better to do that. But the first one I'm going to ask you on stage is Mark van der Heijden. Mark, welcome. Please join me. Mark, if I'm informed well, you have traveled the world. You're a very famous guy. If I'm informed well, you also have a nickname. What is it?
Marky Mark?
No, all right. Well, I've heard something different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right.
Me.
Yeah, I thought it was something like the backpacker.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah? All right.
I'm not sure if it's a nickname, but it could be.
Oh, all right, all right. You are a backpacker then?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Now and then.
Well, Mark, I've heard lots about you, so please enjoy us with your presentation and kick off. Have fun.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I wanted to start with a question. Who of you guys have ideas that have been killed? It's quite a lot. I was expecting a bit more. And who was really frustrated by the fact that your idea was killed? Yeah, that's good. Okay, then I have the right presentation here. So, so I had the same feeling. I used to work in advertising for 6 years in Amsterdam. And my last agency was Lems. It's pretty close by on the other side of the water here. And I was so happy that I was finally working at one of the best agencies. And I got so many campaigns that got killed. It was just insane. Like, one of my first campaigns was something for Hallmark. We worked on it for like 6 months, and then boom, client killed it. Next one was for A&WB. Working on it for 4 months, something with Spotify. It was really, really cool idea. And then boom, over. Third one was for KLM. Was also never done before. Got killed again. So I got like a lot of frustrations. So I really understand the feeling that you guys also have. So I decided to flip the script. I thought if the clients are not approving my ideas, then I'm just gonna create my own ideas. So I decided to quit my job, leave my apartment, and I actually even gave my bed to an orphanage. And I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna travel the world. And then after booking my around the world ticket, I realized that I didn't have enough money to do all the things that I wanted to do, which is not that smart. But as a creative, I always think in solutions. And I thought, like, what do I really need to survive on a trip? And basically, it's just food and a place to sleep. So I came up with an idea to exchange my skills for the only thing you need to survive. And I made it simple enough to explain it in one tweet. So that's something that I think is also useful for you guys. If you have a new idea, make sure you can craft it down to one tweet to test the idea, because the best ideas are always explained simply. So I made it like this. So the backpacker intern travels the world, helping out agencies, brands, and charities for food and a place to sleep. And I just launched it. I had like no intentions on how it would go, or I just wanted to do something cool while traveling. But to show it to the world, I made this 1-minute video with some friends to explain the concept. So I'll show it to you guys, if it all works with the sound.
Meet Mark van der Heijden.
No, that's not good.
This is his life. Loves to play tennis.
I'll go back.
Have a beer with his mates and dance until the sun.
Was that cool? Oh, no. Okay. Okay, let's go back. One more. Just like the Adobe guys, stay cool on stage. It's okay, don't worry.
Hello world. Meet Mark van der Heijden. This is his life. He lives in Amsterdam, loves to play tennis, have a beer with his mates, and dance until the sun comes up. But most of the time, he works as a creative copywriter at advertising agencies. He's made work for brands like KLM, Dance for Life, TNT Express, Doctors Without Borders, Audi, and many more. But for him, the Netherlands is just, the Netherlands. And Mark wants more. So he quit his job and left his apartment, starting an adventure in January 2014 to travel the world as the backpacker intern, helping out agencies, brands, and charities. Mark can originate concepts, craft copy, take photographs, devise strategies, give presentations, and play a mean game of ping pong. But he doesn't want to get paid. He just wants to trade a day of his work for food and a place to sleep. He hopes to meet you soon. Follow his adventures and get in touch at thebackpackerintern.com.
Yeah, so I launched the video, no intentions, and then on day one I flew from Amsterdam to Bangkok, to my first destination. And the idea just got picked up by a lot of media. I was on Adweek, I was on MTV and China, whatever. And besides media attention, I also got a lot of job offers from all over the world. And in total, it was more than 750. And a few of them I will share with you guys. One of my favorites was "Be our backpacker intern, get tandoori chicken in return." That was pretty cool. Internship proposition in Transylvania with vampires. And this is one of my favorites. Do you want to be the gardener in Thai? So if anybody has any, dreams or ambitions to become a gardener in Thailand, I have some connections, so let me know. But besides, a few of those crazy ones, I got really, really cool ones. Like this one was from DDB, California. And instead of that I was trying to get into agencies, they were contacting me. They made an in-agency bedroom for me. So there's like a beer and some popcorn next to the bed, and on the bed is a computer, and on the website on the screen is my website. It's crazy. Chai Day, the guys who made a thing different for Apple, they started to contact me. So the last 1.5 years, I worked in 25 countries on 6 continents at 30 different companies, and a few of the things that I learned from it are actually the moments that sort of brought me back to life, because it all started with frustration of killed ideas, and then I decided to just, go with my own flow. I just want to share some stories with you guys today. So, as the theme is killed ideas, I thought it was funny to start with a grave. So this picture is made on Antarctica. So I managed to get an internship on the 7th continent in the world. And I worked at a cruise ship company, and I helped them with their branding and marketing. And in exchange, I could, hang out with penguins and stuff. And we had, this was really, really cool. Literally cool. We had to dig our own grave. It was like 1 meter, and then, I had like 3 layers of clothes and 2 sleeping bags. And then 10 meters in front of me were like penguins and seals sleeping. And then this, amazing blanket of stars above me. And that was amazing. And then the next morning, the rain and the wind, I was really fucked up. I'm like, what am I doing here, man? That was something different than sitting in an office like I did the last 6 years. Another moment that really actually sort of brought me back to life was meeting Malala. Does anybody knows Malala? Who knows Malala? If you show hands. Almost everyone. So for the people who don't know her, she won a Nobel Prize like 4 months ago. When she was 15, she started to blog about the Taliban. She wanted girls to stand up against the regime. And after 1 year, her blog got really popular, and the Taliban found her in some kind of bus. They shot her. She got a bullet in her head, but she survived. And now she's like a spokesperson, for girls and for children's rights. And I was giving a speech in Liverpool, and she was one of the speakers as well. And afterwards, we had a private reception. And she's like one of those people that walk into a room and you feel this like crazy amount of energy just coming by. She's like one of, I don't know. You just see like history walking there. But at the same time, she was also just a girl, She was with her brothers, and she said that they were fighting about the remote control, So that was quite interesting. this is a story from Seattle. So I worked at the Adventure Film School. It's a school that actually teaches you how to film during extreme conditions. And they asked me to come up with an idea to find a new intern for their school. So I said to the boss, I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to jump out of an airplane, and during the fall, I will scream the job description. And she thought I was crazy, which is true. So we did it, or I did it. She was just standing on the ground. And yeah, so this suit is from a thrift shop. We bought it for like $20, and it's a really cool leopard tie. I thought it was quite a cool detail. And yeah, so the idea is called Badass Intern, and that URL was still available, so that was also good. And then, well, we didn't know how it was going to work. We're like, okay, so the microphone, put it inside of your jacket. Is it going to work? I don't know. Okay, fuck it, let's go. And then, you know, I was hanging out of the airplane, and you know, the wind was all going. And I thought I can only say probably like 3 sentences. So there was 3 months, epic adventures, and learn how to shoot and edit. And then, you know, the guy said, are you ready? I'm like, yeah, I think so. And we went and then tumbled around. And, you know, there was a guy with another camera was coming. He was filming me. And you know, the wind was going like, I'm like, fuck, man. And then, so I was looking into the camera and I was like, 3 months, 3 months. 3 months. Like, fuck, man, I couldn't go further than 3 months. Like, I don't know, because the wind was going so fast, and then, you know, your brain cannot cope with it, or my brain cannot cope with it. And I was like, I was laughing of myself, like, oh man, why it doesn't work? And then the parachute opened, and I said the sentences, and we're still like editing the video. I don't know if it worked out actually, but yeah, it was something different. And now for something fun. Oh, sorry, bad joke. Sorry. This was in Rio. So I worked at Street Child United, which is a charity that helps children who live in the favelas, who are, you know, part of the whole drugs world and the violence. And they use sports to show them that there is a different way to live their lives. And I helped them out with a campaign, but also I gave some football lessons to the boys. And I remember that we were playing on this field, and you know, it's not even a field; it's just like this whole only sand, and you know, the goals have no nets, and it's just, you know, they literally have nothing. And at one point, we heard like I heard like bam, 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 like, oh cool, fireworks, and they're like, no, shootings. I'm like, oh, okay. So you know, just imagine that's their reality, having nothing, living in this dangerous world. So I was with Philip Veldhuis from Favela Street. He became a good friend actually after this, and we decided to give a surprise to the boys. So on one day we took 3 barbers, and we went to the field. We found some kind of bar, and within 5 minutes we transformed the bar into a barber shop. Because those boys, they have like nothing, you know, so not even money to buy shoes to play football on. So in one day, we cut the hair of like 60 boys, and even the trainers were like, hey, free haircut. And then in the end, they all looked like Cristiano Ronaldo, so they played probably their best match ever. Another thing that was like a big, you know, highlight or a thing that sort of brought me to life was, first I thought it was a big joke. So I got an email from the White House, you know, like the White House from the United States. And I have some friends who are also pretty good in, you know, Photoshop or design. And so the first thing I thought was like, okay, who's fucking with me, you know? And so I didn't reply for 1 week. And then after 1 week, I sent them like one email, like, okay, you know, so who's going to speak? And then I got this official reply with the whole eagle logo going on, and it was like, United States Executive Office of the President. I'm like, whoa, fuck, it's real. So I decided to go, and I booked a ticket from, I was in Floripa in Brazil, flew via São Paulo to Washington. And when I arrived there, yeah, it was just insane. We had like a whole tour in the West Wing, and I met the right hand of Obama, the right hand of Michelle. And so basically they invited the top 100 most influential travel bloggers in the world. And apparently I was one of them. And this picture on the right side looks like the Oval Office, but it's not actually. But I had to make a really cool social media update. So this picture was actually $10 at a tourist shop. So you had to buy like for $10 souvenirs, and then you could make this picture. And then I posted it, and the check-in was like checked in at the Oval Office. And everybody's like, "Wow, fuck man, it's the coolest check-in in the world." Like, yeah, man. And so, but please don't tell this to anyone, because then, I lose my credibility, of course. Yeah. So at that point, I was sort of thinking, like, man, like, how is it possible? Like, I'm suddenly in the White House. That's just insane. And I found this. This was actually the first sketch I made for the whole idea about the backpacker intern. And sort of the lesson that I learned from this is like all of us have ideas, but you can make the difference if you make them happen. And it doesn't have to. You don't have to sort of overthink it all the way. So if I would give one advice, to all of you guys in this presentation, it's really simple. It's think less, do more. And to prove this vision or this thought is the fact that I kept on doing this. Like last Saturday, I was invited to speak at the Cannes Lions Festival. Who knows Cannes Lions Festival? It's like a few. So it's like the biggest advertising or creative festival in the world. You can sort of. I always tell my mom it's like the Oscars of advertising. But I've been working in advertising for 6 years, so she now knows what Cannes Lions is. Yeah, so this was a few days ago, and the guy on the left is a really phenomenal guy. He's the global chairman of DDB worldwide. The series Mad Men is based on him, and he founded Omnicom. And they said, "Do you think it's cool if he's going to interview you on stage?" I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." Yeah, so I did it. And what I did as well during that event was launching a company. So what I've discovered from working at all those companies all over the world is the fact that a lot of companies are stuck in routine. People see the same faces, the same places. While creativity thrives when you break the routine, when you have disorder and chaos and fresh perspectives. So that's why André Matarazzo, Valentijn van Zandvoort, who's sitting here as well, and myself started a new company, which is called Wonderbrief. And the idea is really simple. So what we do is we put top-notch creatives to work on a different continent than where they live or where they work, to solve the biggest challenges that societies and companies are facing in a brief period of time. And to actually refresh their perspective. So our vision is we want to refresh the perspective of people, companies, and in the end, the world. And we're going to start with our MVP, so minimal viable product, in February 2016. So that you can see that as our sort of our first mission. So we're going to put 12 top-notch creatives to travel to 6 continents simultaneously in 3 weeks, to refresh the perspective of 18 agencies, brands, and charities. And, launching it at Cannes was actually really good because the whole sort of creative industry is there. So we already made really good connections and, cool people who want to join us in this adventure. So if anybody here is interested, you're more than welcome, to talk to us. So if you want to like us on all the social media game, that would be really cool. And I would like to end with somebody who inspired me since I was young. I was always playing basketball, and I was a big fan of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. I was always checking it out. But I didn't come close to anything in the basketball career at all. And I really spent a lot of hours on the field. But I always kept in mind one of the things that he said, which I think is really inspiring, is I've failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Thanks.
Mark, dankjewel.
Thanks.
Superleuk, hartstikke gaaf om te horen. Nou ja, inderdaad, de backpacker, dus dat klopte dus toch wel. Ja, gewoon gaaf om te horen en te zien wat je natuurlijk allemaal hebt gedaan in die tussentijd. Sorry, I have to switch to English, of course. For you guys here, it's not important, but for the live stream. So I think, well, it's really stunning to see what you have done and what you've managed to do. So it started very cool in the snow, but I was wondering, when you visited all those agencies, did you ever had the same experience again, that one of your ideas was killed?
No, not really. I mean, it was pretty short. I stayed like 2 or 3 weeks, so I didn't see it, but I think a lot of them are killed. But I didn't hear anything from it, so yeah.
Oh, you didn't get any pushback on it?
No,
All
some
right.
of them. But,
all right. Well, it was great having you here. We also have a still small present for you to thank you for giving this beautiful story.
Oh. Dankjewel. Thanks.
So, thanks again, and give him a warm applause.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you.